Do you guys remember Spongebob SquarePants, the show that was aired on 1999? I'm sure it doesn't really need an introduction, but for the few people that don't know, SpongeBob is a show that was created by Steven Hillenburg back in 1999, which was about a bunch of sea creatures going on various adventures. The show was originally supposed to teach kids about sea life in a fun way. Ironically enough, the creator, Steven Hillenburg, was actually a college professor for sea life, creating a little character on his work called Spongebob. He later decided, because his students would ask him, to turn it into a show. He originally wanted to air it on Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. This was declined because the cartoon didn't sound like something Cartoon Network would air, so he decided to go with Nickelodeon. And to this day, it's one of the biggest hit shows on Nickelodeon. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that watch the episodes and watch the show knows the pilot. Most wanted. Help wanted. The episode was actually SpongeBob getting a job at the Krusty Krab, and Mr. Krab is purposely sending off an impossible task, hoping he doesn't come back. By their surprise, he does, saving the Krusty Krab and getting the job. Now, what if I told you that there was an original pilot to the episode? To understand the original pilot, we need to go back to reason to why the original pilot was created. Steven Hillenburg really wanted to show kids about sea life, and he would do anything to do it. He didn't only want kids to know the beautiful sea life, he also originally wanted them to see the darker side of the sea life. Try to keep kids from really going out in the ocean and deep in the ocean in danger to actually be safe. But decided not to do that after an incident in the unfortunate 1991. I was on a website that lets you chat with different people, but also lets you chat with certain people you look up. I remember creating a server room with me and my best friend, Ron. Here's how the conversation went. Ron: hey dude, you will not believe this, but I came across a certain link that you need to check out. You know that show SpongeBob? Me: yeah, that show. What about it? He then sent a link which was just a bunch of random numbers and words. I clicked on it, and it sent me to a page with the front just saying download. I downloaded it, and it started downloading an MP4 file on my computer. It was about 2 to 3 megabytes long. I clicked on the video after downloaded, and to my surprise, it was help wanted. I was confused why he sent me this episode because I've seen it like 100 times. I decided to go ahead. The episode was normal, besides the fact that it was a little grainy and less professioned. But besides that, it was normal until the scene where Mr. Krabs and Squidward is laughing their butts off after sending SpongeBob to the impossible task. After the anchovies take over the Krusty Krab with a big racket. Originally, Mr. Krabs and Squidward fly onto the pole and start climbing up. When all hope was lost, usually SpongeBob was supposed to show up and save the day, but that never happened. And the anchovies broke the pole, causing the whole thing to collapse. All there was a panned out of the Krusty Krab as Mr. Krabs and Squidward's screams wailed in Krusty Krab. It then went to a shot of SpongeBob coming back later. He opened the door, and to his surprise, he let out a blood-curdling scream. The camera then panned to see SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs, and Squidward's lifeless bodies, horribly mutilated, with bites taken out of them. It was so disgusting, I almost threw up. It was kind of lifelike, like what you would expect an half-eaten crab and squid to look like. The next scene showed SpongeBob crying. It was already nighttime, and EMT Fish dragged a bed, one of those moving beds that had them in black bags, putting them in the truck. As it panned out, Patrick was next to him with his arm over his shoulder, SpongeBob crying, and Patrick's trying to calm him down. As the camera panned out, it went to the intro with one phrase: "Sea life is not what is what you expect." It can also be heavenly disturbing. The episode ended. I punched my table, wondering why the heck would my friend send me this. I texted him, and he told me it was sent by a guy on Discord, someone that he doesn't really know, and told me that I'd to watch it, and watched it himself. After seeing what was on it, sent it to me. I instantly went on Nickelodeon and contacted Steven Hillenburg himself. Though I didn't really expect him to text back, I was just really angry. I was surprised when I found out that Steven Hillenburg actually did reply. It was a long text message, but here's what it said. "Dear Max," yes, that's my name. "Dear Max, I'm very sorry that you had to see that episode, and unfortunately, yes, the episode was real and was originally supposed to be aired. Around the time Nickelodeon usually had us, when first pilots have kids watch it to see if the kids would like it. That episode that you watched and sent me was a copy of episode that we aired in a room. A couple of kids won prizes in the mail, and the few kids that won was allowed to see the pilot themselves in a little room that almost like a mini theater. In mid-episode, after you got to the part with Mr. Krabs and Squidward's mutilated bodies, we instantly had to shut it off. A lot of kids started freaking out and crying. It was chaotic. And my boss told me not to air that episode and tell me to change it or leave. We decided to change it. Some of the kids actually snapped and went and had to get heavy therapy. Some of them, unfortunately, took their own lives. I regret making the episode. This was not my plan. It wasn't my whole plan I wanted to do. I just wanted to teach kids what's the darker side of sea life, to keep them from walking into the ocean without knowing what could possibly be out there. Just to keep them safe. I didn't want this to happen. I'm very sorry they had to see the episode, and I'm going to look into it, how this episode got out, because it wasn't supposed to. The original VHS tape was actually stored in my mansion in a safe. I looked, when you sent me the episode, went into my safe to check on it, and it's still there. we're still looking into it, but I want to give out my full apologies, and the episode was not supposed to be shown. Yours truly, Stephen Hillenberg.